Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is 64-bit Rick, and in today's video I'm gonna build this. It is a medieval fantasy tower behemoth with a windmill and a water wheel and a kick-ass chimney. It has 6 levels and 4 roofs. 4 roofs? What house has 4 roofs? Ladies and gentlemen, this house is the great Australian dream. I could see myself retiring in a place like this. All right, less about the chit chat and more about the building. Let's get to it. Back again with another build. This time it's coming from DiddiHD. Look, not even going to mention it. I'm just going to get to the formalities. This build is called How to Build a Medieval Fantasy House in Minecraft by DiddiHD. And as always, the link is in the description. Shall we get to it? Yes, we shall. I've already laid down the layout of the foundation with stone brick blocks. When building a house like this, you're going to need a good foundation, and there's no better foundation than stone brick blocks. So we're going to be laying down 3 layers, which will look something like this. This path on the left will be our entrance into the house, and we're going to be using smooth stone slabs for the stairs, and then we're going to be using smooth stone for the top. On the side of the stairs we'll use stone brick walls, and then we'll fill in the floor with stone bricks. I could have used torches, but I just filled the whole thing in. And then we'll fill in the rest with smooth stone. We'll build up a bunch of stone brick pillars that look something like this. And as a reminder, I'm playing in survival. And as always, I get myself into a fair bit of trouble, even if it is just by zombies like this wearing ugly sweaters. We use cobblestone on the inner walls and fill it in something like this. I assume at some point we're going to need to get inside the house, so we knock a hole in the wall and put in a front door. Then we'll knock out a couple of blocks here and add some iron bars for a couple of windows. Those homely-like windows, like jails have. Every house has them. Here's a quick look at our progress. And that right there is a good foundation. I run down the hill to take care of the creeper problem that I've got. Sir, I do not appreciate that arrow to the face. For that, I'll be taking out your ankles. It finally stopped raining, so I got back to work. I added some upside down stone brick stairs to make some arches around the windows and finished them off with slabs in the middle. I did the same for this larger wall here and on the entranceway as well. And here's a quick squiz at the progress we've made so far. Just a heads up for anyone new to the channel. First of all, thanks for checking me out. I really appreciate it. If you thought, oh, this is the crappiest tutorial ever, that's because you're not watching a tutorial, just watching someone who's doing a tutorial. So if you want to actually do the tutorial, you can jump on the link in the description. I won't hold it against you, but if you want to hang around to the end of the video, I would really appreciate it. I've just added cobblestone, andesite, and a little bit of stone slabs around the building, so it builds over the base of the foundation and doesn't look quite so square. When night fell, this dickhead thought he could sneak up on me, but he got slapped, but this spider actually did. You bastard. This skeleton thought he'd try his luck. You gutless prick. Get it? Gutless? Skeleton? Oh, sorry. Moving on. Next morning I ran into this little jerk. You can piss right off, mate. I got some building to do. So we're going to build a deck from the rear of the house with spruce planks. With the planks in place, we then go and add some spruce slabs, so we're 3 blocks out. Then we add 3 spruce trapdoors in the middle. We're going to use spruce fence for the supports. At the top we'll use hoppers. Then we'll link them all up with spruce fence gates, and we'll add some on the side as well. And there's our finished deck, which will also become a balcony. I was enjoying a nice peaceful night until this dickhead showed up. Mate, your sweater is ugly and so are you. The next morning I got back to work. We laid upside down stone brick stairs around the entire edge of the roof. That night I caught these creeps looking at me. Yeah, look mate, I need you and your buddies to piss off. You can't be hanging around. It's not safe, it's a work area. Of course, if you want to stay, I'd be happy to slap you around some, and that works for me. Have it your way, dickhead. The next morning, we added spruce trapdoors to the edge of the roof. And here's our progress so far. It would be a pretty crappy house if you couldn't get to the first floor, so we add a ladder and extend it by one. Then we use rows of stripped oak log for the floor. Then we head back downstairs and add a lantern before heading out and taking care of some of the local riffraff. Like this zombie who was looking at me funny. Bloody skeleton shooting arrows at me. I don't appreciate that, you rude bastard. Speaking of zombies, this guy was bloody rude, so he got slapped. As was his brother, he was just as big a jerk. Speaking of jerks, there ain't no bigger than these bloody Endermen. Oh, look out, hold the phone. Obnoxious green bastards. Yeah, didn't forget you, Indy. What's your problem, mate? Whoa, settle down, sailor. Hey, Karen. Piss off, Karen. The next morning, I got back to work and built a whole bunch of oak pillars 5 blocks high. With our new pillars all in place, we joined them all up at the top. Then, after shattering my ankles, I once again extended the ladder. On the front side of the building, we extended the oak logs 3 blocks. Then on the left side, we extend this one by 5 blocks. Back on the front of the building, we put some spruce fence under the logs that we just placed. Sorry, let me just turn on the lantern. There we go, that's better. Sure makes it easier to see this knucklehead. Yes, mate, you got slapped. Don't worry, jabroni. You're not getting left out. You filthy arachnid, I heard you sneaking up on me. Get wrecked. My spidey senses tingling. Hey, eat that, Peter Parker. I was going to go back to work, but look, since you made the effort of dressing up, who am I to let down the blushing bride? The next morning we get to work on the front wall. We start with a layer of spruce planks at the bottom. Directly on top of that we put some spruce stairs and we leave a 2-block gap for a window. Spruce planks on top of those. Then we'll run spruce stairs along the length of the entire wall. Then for the top of the window we add upside down stairs on each side. Then we finish off the window with a couple of spruce trapdoors. Then we'll slap a dark oak fence gate to the side of the window. Then we'll place dark oak trapdoors along the very top. Another dark oak fence gate for the other side. And here's our finished wall. The rest of the wall is pretty much the same on this level, and this is such a huge build. If I was to show you how every single brick was laid, it would make this a very long video. So instead, I'll just show you the highlights and how each level progressed without showing you how every single block was placed. I hope all that makes sense. Anyway, let's get on with it. We placed some holder blocks along the edges of the balcony. Then we place oak trapdoors on top. We open up all those trapdoors, and just like that, we've got ourselves a great looking balcony. Spruce trapdoors to cover up bits and bobs, and we're good to go. That night, this nasty little creeper distracted me. So did the ghost creeper. You bloody bastard, destroying my mountain. Mate, I'm not impressed by your fancy boots, not one little bit. Then I ran into one of these jerks with their books. Mate, what are you reading? Oh, this zombie's not going to help you. Neither will Frank. Frank's not going to do anything. Mate, he's weak sauce. Neither is Bonehead here. Mate, in the words of a French-Canadian legend, I am not impressed by your performance. This spider just didn't get the bloody message. No. Oh, that's not good. Okay, enough stuffing around. That's way too close to my new bloody building. Piss off, Frank, we got work to do. Moving to the left side of the building, we're going to build a support for the eaves. Basically the same way we make a frame for the roofs. We start by placing an upside down stair, then a stair on top of that, then another stair on the back side of that, and so on until we get to the top, where we're left with this cool looking support. We're going to be using spruce slabs to fill up the entire area between all those beams we placed earlier. And for the very edge, we're going to use spruce trapdoors to finish it off. That'll run around the entire edge of the building. That's going to create a nice overhang, which is going to make the next level significantly larger. To finish off this level, we're going to run oak logs between all of the pillars. Then we're going to fill in all the empty space with spruce slabs. As you can see, the floor area for this level has grown like a porn star. I head downstairs and throw up another lantern in the middle. Just let me deal with this spider problem real quick. Oi, I wasn't ready. Bloody jerk. Then his mate came out of nowhere. Old mate Zombie's never happy. Mate, you're way too close to my house. I'm gonna need you to vacate the area. What is going on with all these creepers right now? You guys are way too close to my new house. I swear they're traveling in gangs these days. What is going on? Oh, little mate's stuck in the bush. There you go. I place only one oak log and I spot this bitch in the bushes. Piss off, mate. I build up the oak logs to 5 blocks high. Then I build a whole bunch of these pillars. And once again, we join them all up with oak logs at the top. And extend the ladder once again. And here's the overhead view of the 3rd level so far. I went to grab some materials from the chests and sure enough, creepers waiting for me. All I wanted to do was build a bloody house, but these guys were spawning like guinea pigs. It's the middle of the bloody day, and these guys are throwing a giant party at the back of my house. I gotta take care of each and every one of them. I don't want one of these skeletons getting a lucky shot off when I'm 3 or 4 levels high. The rest of these wankers fall on their faces, probably partied out from the night before. So I finally get back to work, and this time we're on the right side of the building. We're extending these oak logs by 3, and on the rear of the building we extend them by 5. On the top of this pillar we place a couple of spruce trapdoors, and then we close them. Then once again we're using these spruce slabs to fill in all the gaps. And here's a look at the 4th level so far. This one has also grown substantially in size. I did say this house is a beast. Alright, let's give it some walls. We're going to be using mangrove planks to start with. Then just like previously, we add a layer of stairs, leaving enough room for a window. Then a layer of planks and another layer of stairs on top of that. Then for the window, we add upside down stairs on both sides, then a spruce trapdoor on each side. Then we whack a couple of dark oak fence gates on top. Then we'll put dark oak trapdoors on top of those. For a planter we add 2 grass blocks, spruce trapdoors to all the sides. We'll throw some foliage on there later. This noisy bastard's been pissing me off all night, so it's time to take care of the problem. With a slap to the face, of course. I should have just stayed up high, should have just left it alone, but no. Now the mobs are angry at me. Cosplaying skeletons everywhere. And somehow I missed this and the creeper snuck up behind me and made a big mess. As I was cleaning up the mess, this bloody pirate came out of nowhere and started hitting me. Over and over again. Mate, I just gotta find the right weapon, I'll be right with you. I clean up the rest of the mess and get back to work. Alright, where were we? That's right, the mangrove walls. Just like earlier, there's no need to go over every single wall, but I will show you how we did the corners. We've left a 1 block gap for the window and we've done everything else the same. Dark oak fence gates once again at top, and on top of those we'll add dark oak trapdoors. We'll throw in a couple of spruce trapdoors on one side, since we can't do it on both, and we'll also have a 1 block planter done exactly the same. And that takes care of this corner. Moving on to the large balcony at the front of the house now. As we did earlier, we'll place oak trapdoors around the entire edge of the balcony and then flip them all up. Once again, I apologise for not leaving the bloody lantern on. We'll add some supports with spruce fences, and there's our finished balcony. So that night, this happened. See that ghost? It's not a ghost, it's a bloody creeper. And it made a bloody mess. But that's okay, I've cleaned up the mess. I've fortified the soil with stone brick blocks. No creeper is gonna mess up. Oh, you bloody bastard. Fuck. Then I'm getting materials out of my chest and I hear this. What the hell? So I guess creepers are jumping out of trees now, much like the elusive drop bears of Australia. We've moved to the left side of the building now and we're going to make a crane for a lantern. I know it's not an actual crane, but it kind of looks like one. So we place a grindstone at the end of the log, then a dark oak fence, and then the chain. Lots of chain. Lots and lots of chain, actually. Then at the halfway mark, we attach 3 spruce trapdoors. Under the trapdoors, we place 3 chains on one side and 2 on the other. Then we attach lanterns to both of them. Now here's a squiz at the entire build so far. It's already looking like a monster and we're only 3 levels up. Let's keep going. It's time to build the first of many roofs and we're going to start with dark oak planks and then dark oak slab over the edge. Back on the opposite side we'll attach stairs and then stairs on top of those. Then more stairs and then finally planks on top. I'm pretty sure that on a previous video I mentioned that I hate phantoms. Still do. You bastards leave me alone. Of course they all attack me at once because they're a bunch of buggers, but I finally dispatched them and get back to building. Here's where we left off. We just have to put some stairs on top, add another stair to those. Once again, we'll go for the planks on top and we'll leave it there for the moment. It'll all make sense later, don't worry about it. I really should be getting my materials in a day, but I don't seem to learn from my mistakes. So here we are once again, bloody Karen's back and this guy's shooting me in the back with his bloody arrows. Mate, what do you think you're bloody doing over there? Your gold armor isn't gonna help you. Mate, you're going down as well, you bony bastard. And you zombie, you're getting slapped. Man, I love Minecraft. Time to head back upstairs and as you can see, I finished the other side of the roof as well. So now it's time to take care of this bloody creeper. There we go. Now it's time to add the deep slate to the roof. Here's a hot tip for you, don't do what I'm doing right now. It's gonna piss you off later, it really will. See what I've just done, I've laid the deep slate in different directions. In other words, sometimes I've laid it to the side and other times I've laid it to the top. So I had to go back and change every single one of them so they all matched. It was a pain in the ass, but we got it done. Next we finish off the edge of the roof with a plank and then we use slabs for this portion of the roof. With the deep slate finished, it's now time to add the mangrove planks to the end of the roof. We're going to fill up this entire area with the planks, just leaving a 1 block gap in the middle for a window. Then we use an upside down stair and a plank at the bottom, giving us this little window. Spruce trapdoors on the side once again, dark oak fence gates on top, and then on top of that, dark oak trapdoors once again. 3 grass blocks for a planter, spruce trapdoors on the front and the sides, and that'll finish off the outside of the roof for now. Moving inside the roof now, we use upside down mangrove stairs, then planks on top of those. We do that on both sides and there's the inside of our roof done. Upside down stairs at the top on both sides. And here's our handiwork from an aerial view. As you can see, this is before I fix the roof. There's the mess that I've made. As you can see, the patterns are running in different directions and my OCD will not allow me to keep it like this. And here I am realizing the mistake that I've made and the mistake that you won't make because you watch my video. By the way, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're enjoying it, maybe you throw me a like if you want. Subscribe if you're really feeling feisty. Either way, I appreciate that you're still here. Now back to the build. Time to lay some beams inside the roof. Now we lay them from end to end. We'll add a lantern here and there to keep the place nice and light. Then we'll fill in the rest with slabs. And there we go, Bob's your uncle as they say. I don't know who the hell Bob was, but the least he could do is help me with this bloody build. Back outside on the roof again, this will be a common theme throughout the entire build. We're going to use dark oak fences along the edge of the roofs. And I do mean every roof, every single roof and the tower as well. And this will give us this kind of effect that you're looking at right now. Alright, it's time to build the 4th level and we're starting with oak logs for pillars and lots of them. And we're going up a bit higher this time, we're going up to 6 blocks high. And once again we're extending the ladder, another 6 blocks obviously. Then we join up all those pillars with oak logs. And here's a nice aerial view of our progress so far. Next, we're going to extend these oak logs out in every direction by 3. Then we're going to be using spruce planks to fill in the roof. For the overhang of the roof, we're going to switch it up to spruce slabs. And then finally, we'll move to spruce trapdoors for the very edge. Remember that roof we were working on earlier? Well, it's time to finish it off. Now for the dark oak planks, we're actually going to go 3 high and then add a stair. We do the same on the other side until they meet in the middle. Then a stair in the middle, and we join the 2 up with a couple of stairs facing each other. Then we bring the deep slate up as well, just following the same pattern as the dark oak. And here's a look at what we've got so far. For this portion of the roof, we're just going to fill the entire thing up with mangrove planks. Back on the outside, we're going to use the dark oak fence once again. We use spruce slabs to fill in this section of the roof and trapdoors on the very edge. On the right side of the building, I've just finished off this piece of the roof when I spotted these buggers on my next door neighbour's roof. What are you doing, mate? You don't belong there. So I'm going to take these guys out long distance. I freaking love this zoom. Freaking love it. See ya, dickhead. Stay off the bloody roof. Speaking of the roof, I finished the other side while you weren't looking. Then I added the deep slate and the dark oak trim on the edge. Dark oak fence all the way to the very top. Then we filled in the end with mangrove planks, an upside down stair in the window, a couple of spruce trapdoors on the side, 3 grass blocks, 3 dark oak trapdoors at the top, and dark oak fence gates underneath those, spruce trapdoors around the planter, and we are good to go. It looks a bit messy with the fence up the top, but I'll fix that later. Fill in the inside of the roof with mangrove planks and stairs, and this time we'll fill in the top as well. We'll whack a lantern on this beam, and at the end we'll throw up a chain and a lantern. Alright, time for a quick squiz. We got 4 levels, not finished yet. We've still got to do the walls for the 4th level, but here's how it's going so far. We'll smash out these walls really quickly. In fact, we'll just skim over them and show you the highlights. Here's one of the window designs right here, finishing it off with the trapdoors on the side. And here it is with all the trimmings. Is it just me, or is that an Angry Birds pig? I don't know. Tell me in the comments. Is it just me, or does that look like the Angry Bird pig? Under the planter we place a row of slabs. As I was working on the wall, I spotted these little buggers down there trespassing where they don't belong. Hey dickheads, get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of there. Yeah, I don't think they heard me. I'm going to have to go down and spell it out for them. So I raced downstairs so I can have a chat with these fellas. I just want to have a talk to them, see what they're about, but they raised their crossbows at me, so what was I meant to do? Sorry guys, but if we can't talk about this, I'm going to have to slap you all. Ooh, that actually could have hurt me. You almost got me, you silly bastard. When I got back to the house, I could hear a spider, but I found this zombie instead. Oh, there's the spider. Sorry, buddy, but you can't live here. I notice a skeleton off into the distance, so he needs to be taken care of. Sorry, mate. Then I ran into this one with his goofy-looking boots on. Mate, you look ridiculous. Now we're on the right side of the building, and it's time to build ourselves another crane. I know they're not actually cranes, but they look like cranes, so just let me have this, alright? First, we're going to use spruce fence to put up some supports, and then we'll use a fence gate at the end. After that, we'll use another grindstone, 1 dark oak fence, and some more chain. Just like the last one, once we get down to about halfway, I'll be rudely interrupted by this skeleton. Mate, don't do that. As I was saying, we get halfway and we'll put 3 spruce trapdoors, like so. Then we'll add some more chain, and this time we're going to mix it up and use a bell and a lantern. There it is, guys, 4 levels. Let's keep going. Mate, that gold armor definitely clashes with that ugly sweater. Sorry, mate, but you're late to the party. You'll just have to piss off. Oh, did they tell you it was fancy dress? Now you look like an idiot. Mate, you are so late to the party, I'm not even going to bother with you. Groan all you want, you're not coming in. Alright, let's start this 5th level. We're going to be building a tower, so we're going to need 4 pillars, and there they are. Then we're going to be building a roof on either end. And since we've already made roofs earlier, here's another one for you. Since we're talking about roofs, here's the roof on the left-hand side of the building. We're just going to add 4 dark oak planks to it, and we're also going to build up the deep slate behind it as well. Since it is part of a roof, we're going to add a dark oak fence to the edges once again. We're also going to add 2 dark oak fence to the very top. Then we added dark oak slabs all the way down the side of the building on both sides. And then it was time for some more deep slate, and lots of it. I've got a couple of big roofs to fill. I was running low on deep slate, so I headed downstairs, right into this. Alright, so there's some mobs waiting to take my head off. I walk around the corner, get rid of that creeper, that skeleton, and they're still hissing. A creeper explodes, but where's the damage? There's no damage to anything. It's so weird. Why is there no damage? Piss off, dickhead. But there should be damage. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy about the result, but I'm just a little confused. If anyone can help me out, hit me up in the comments. I'd really like to know what's going on. That's a problem for another day. Today I'm back on the roof, slapping down more deep slate. Once again, we fill up the inside of the roof with the mangrove planks. And finally, we add the dark oak fence around the edge. And here's a quick look at the progress so far. I thought I'd be safe getting my materials during the day, but apparently not. Check out this pack of wankers invading my space in the middle of the day. Mate, you're all going to get slapped now. Especially you noisy muppet. You too, dickhead. Alright, to keep things moving along, we've had a little bit of a time jump. I've finished the deep slate portion of the roof. Because you've already seen me build the roofs, you don't need to see it over and over. As you can see on this particular roof, we're filling the ends in with jungle planks. Then we use a couple of upside down stairs and fill the rest in with planks. Back on the outside, we'll throw up some dark oak trapdoors as well as the dark oak fence gates. We add a planter to the outside as well as a couple of spruce trapdoors for the side. Finish it all off with some dark oak fence, and that will complete this portion of the roof. Next, we're going to clean up the inside of this roof by filling in all of the gaps with jungle planks, getting rid of the few here and there that don't match. We'll also add upside down stairs so it all flows nicely and matches the contour of the roof. Back on the outside, we'll just pop some slabs here. This will become the base of the tower. We add some upside down stairs to each end, and then we join them all up with slabs. Then we'll run jungle planks from one side of the roof to the other. Back inside, we'll take out a couple of stairs and replace them with jungle planks. Then we'll fill in a couple more. We'll add a ladder to the top. And then we'll add some more upside down stairs that will run the entire length of the building. Next, we fill the top up with jungle planks, and we're almost done with this level. Let's keep going. Let's light it up with chains and lanterns. We'll replace this log with planks. Then it's time to get started on this tower. First, we're going to build 4 pillars, only 4 blocks high. We'll join them all up at the top with oak logs. Then for an inner wall, we'll fill in the inside with jungle planks. On the outside, we're going to get to work on creating some diagonal beams. We start with upside down stairs on each end. Then I hear that familiar sound of, oh God, I forgot to sleep. Somehow I managed to get all but one, so I waited around and sure enough, he came back and he got slapped. Can I get back to work now? We finish off these diagonal beams with the same technique as we did on the roof and also on the supports. And here's the result. Back inside, we lengthen the ladder. We head upstairs, we extend the tower another 6 blocks high. With 4 new pillars, we join them all up once again with the oak logs. I jump down and destroy my ankles, but after I pick myself back up, I get to work on the inner walls. Still using jungle planks, and we'll stop 1 block from the top. Then we fill it all in with spruce planks, and now seems like a good time to have a good squiz at our creation. Or I should say Diddy's creation. I'm just enjoying the ride, and trust me guys, it's been a ride and it's been fun so far, but this bloody creeper's found a home on my balcony. What are you doing, mate? Screw him, he can stay there. As long as he keeps out of my way, I'm gonna keep out of his. Alright, we're on the left side of the tower right now, and we're going to break this side up into 5 sections, 3 1-block sections and 2 2-block sections by using spruce trapdoors. Once we've got the 2 larger sections set up, we knock out the 6 blocks inside. Then at the top of these smaller sections we add spruce fence gates, and here's how it should look when it's all done. Just ignore those dirt blocks. Old mate's still hanging around. G'day bud, just keep out of the way. We're all good. I don't think this was the same creeper. Either way, he got slapped. Speaking of people who need to be slapped, g'day Karen. Karen found out. This is just like walking around my backyard. Spiders everywhere. At least we don't have a zombie problem. Well, not yet anyway. And don't you start hissing at me, mate. Now if I hide under the tree, they can't get me, right? It actually worked. Back inside the tower, we're going to use spruce slabs to create a floor just under the 2 big windows we made. Speaking of these windows, we're going to fill them with jungle trapdoors. Then we're going to open them all up. Trust me, when we add some lighting, these trapdoors are super effective at night time. Back on the outside, we'll place an upside down stair right here, a placer block on top, and then another upside down stair, then 2 placer blocks and another upside down stair. We'll get rid of the placer blocks and we'll put a slab on this bottom stair, and then on the top stair we'll put 2 slabs. Then we'll put another slab facing outwards. Remember this for later. We'll repeat that 7 more times, and here's the result. Then we place 2 slabs from the edge all the way around the roof. Now we're working on the front of the house. We're going to build yet another roof. This one's going to actually be a tall one. It's one of the larger roofs of this build, and it goes 3 high when we get to the single blocks. We'll stick an upside down stair underneath, and here's how it looks. Just like before, we'll add the deep slate. There it is. Right next to that roof, we'll add a couple of slabs and 2 fence gates under that. We'll fill this bottom area up with slabs as well, before adding all of the dark oak fences. Then we fill up the inside with jungle planks, and that's another roof done. Let's keep going. Time to make some more pillars. We need to make 6 4-block pillars. There they are, looking good. Now, Diddy, why are you having me deleting all these blocks? So for anyone watching who intends to build this amazing house, you don't need that slab at the end. You don't need it. You'll only be told later on to get rid of it like it was nothing. Anyway, we really need to move on. And moving on we shall. We are going to place 3 fence posts on each of these slabs. On each of the corners we're going to place some placeholder blocks. Then we're going to place oak trapdoors on top of those. We'll open the trapdoors, delete the placeholders, and then we'll place oak trapdoors along the edge of the entire build, which will look something like this. We join up all the pillars with slabs, and we'll fill the entire top with planks. Then with planks once again, we'll build out one from the edge and work our way around the entire build. Then on those fences that we placed earlier, we're going to place dark oak slabs, and then we'll run along the entire edge of the building. In between the building and the slabs, we'll place a layer of deep slate. Underneath, we'll cover up the deep slate with spruce trapdoors. Then we'll place lanterns on the corners and on the center beams. And here's how it looks at night. Let's keep going. I have no idea what possessed me to go out onto the balcony, but I know why I bloody left. I want nothing to do with those green bastards while I'm inside the house. I make a beeline for the front door. I've got to get rid of these bloody creepers. They're like Hydra, cut off one head and two will emerge in its place. I've seen so many bloody creepers during this build, I should give you guys names. Dickhead 1 and Dickhead 2, oh look out, here comes Dickhead 3. Hello Karen. Goodbye Karen. The next morning I'm up bright and early. We've got a whole lot of deep slate to add to this tower. First we start with one layer. Then as we move inward, we build 2 layers. Then I fill in this area with stone bricks. Then we place another layer of deep slate on the edge. Fill in the middle with stone bricks again. Move in once again with a deep slate. Only this time we're going to go 4 layers high. Then for the final 3 blocks in the middle, we'll go 5 layers high. And believe it or not, that's still not the top. Here's a look at the behemoth so far. Seems we have a squatter. And he's not happy about something. Mate, you're living rent free. Shut the hell up. Alright, we're back on the roof. Let's see how high we can get this. We start with 2 cobbled deep slate wall, then 5 dark oak fences, and 1 iron bar for the very top, which is the actual top. Then we place some dark oak upside down stairs. Then we'll join them up with dark oak slabs to give us this kind of effect right here. Then I add dark oak fence to run down the center of all 4 sides of the tower. Alright, it's time to do some side quests. First side quest will be the water wheel. Basically, it's going to be ridiculously hard to explain what's going on with this water wheel, so bear with me guys, I'll do my best. So this first part is, then we add stairs to all the center corners. So on this first paddle, we'll add 2 dark oak planks and then 2 stairs. On the other side, we'll add another 2 stairs, then another 4 planks with upside down stairs hanging off that. Should have only been 2 planks, and then upside down stairs off that. So you've got 2 lots of stairs going in the same direction, basically. You want all the stairs to be going in the same direction. So that's 1 paddle for now. Each paddle is a T shape. If you're looking at it as a T, the top of the T will have stairs on either end of it. Like I said, it's super hard to explain, but what you want to do is create another 3 of those paddles that we've already created, and then we're going to join them all up at the end with stairs. So here's our water wheel ready to be joined up. The only one that isn't complete is the one at the bottom. This is probably the easiest part of the entire process. We're just adding these stairs into the corners where the T's, we'll call them, where the T's meet. And just 1 more to go. There it is. And that will give you a finished water wheel. And you can see the one at the bottom is complete as well now. As I said, I know I did a shocking job of explaining this. The good news is, if you want to do this tutorial, DiddiHD makes it a whole lot more clearer than I ever could. Hopefully that thing's holding together a bit better than just a few buttons. But here's our finished water wheel in water. That's right, I made a little pond just so the wheel had something to sit in, see how it would look with a bit of reflection going on. And it looks really good. Looks really good. It's okay. Who doesn't want a water wheel in their house? Come on. Side quest number 2 will probably be just as hard to explain, if not worse. This will probably be even harder to explain now I think about it. We're building a windmill. What are the parts of a windmill called? I have no idea. The sails, I guess. And just like the wheel, there's just funky designs. You've got dark oak planks going in all kinds of directions and upside down stairs, and you see what I mean? Look at that funky looking design, but trust me, it works. There's all 4 of the sail parts together. Hang on, let me look it up. So apparently they're called rotors. There you go, research. I've done some research. So the fences will kind of look like they're holding the sail parts on. I know they're not sails, but whatever that part's called. I'm going to call them sails. I did look it up, but I couldn't find any info on it. So I'm calling them sails. And we're using light grey wool for those. And here's our windmill. There's side quest number 2 in the books. I've just got to clear out that dirt underneath. It looks pretty tacky. Before we start our third and final side quest, all these planters need plants. Be kind of crap if they didn't have plants, so I hit up each and every one of them with an assortment of different fauna. Or is it flora? It's flora, right? Flora and fauna, I don't know. What's the difference between the two? Somebody tell me. This is what you get. Stay in school, people. Stay in school and you'll learn about these things. So, side quest number 3, the third and final side quest, will be using bricks as they should be used for building a chimney. We use many of them, build 4 squares all the way up. We knock out the odd one here and there, randomly, and replace them with stairs and brick walls, which kind of makes it look a little worn, a little old. Then we add 4 hoppers, and on top of that we'll add 4 hay bales. Then we whack spruce trapdoors on the sides. Then we set it on fire by using campfires. We hide the campfires with signs, and there we have it. Our third and final side quest, a beautiful looking chimney. Now, remember all that work I did earlier? And I made sure that all of the deep slate was facing in the right direction so it wouldn't look ugly and it would look uniform and clean and neat. And well, I did all of that for absolutely nothing. No reason whatsoever, because right now we're going to smash up a large percentage of that deep slate. We're going to replace it with mossy blocks. Then we're going to bone meal those mossy blocks, which spreads to the deep slate. I don't know if you know this, because I sure as hell didn't before I started this build. And there you have it, a overgrown roof of sorts. It looks phenomenal. I really, really like this addition. I love these mossy blocks. I love the idea that this house has been taken over by nature at some point, and it's just, it's gone a bit crazy. Maybe the world's gone crazy and, I don't know, it hasn't been maintained or whatever, and nature's taken over. I also spread around some carpet, as you can see here, over some of the wooden areas. The moss has taken over all kinds of materials. And with that said, guys, I think it's time we called it. I think this one's done. So first and foremost, I would like to thank DiddiHD for this amazing tutorial. As always, the links to both tutorials, Part 1 and Part 2, are in the description of this video. I highly recommend doing this tutorial. I guarantee you'll have a ball, whether it's in survival or creative. Either way, you're going to enjoy building this crazy house. While you're there, check out all his other videos. He's got an amazing library of Minecraft content for you to check out. Guys, thank you so much for making it this far into the video. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate that you've shared your time with me watching one of my silly videos. If you have enjoyed it, please consider giving it a like. If you're really feeling generous, hit that subscribe button. And if you do, always hit that notification bell so you never miss out on an upload. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, if you made it this far, you are a legend. See ya! Oh, piss off, Karen.